Good morning. My name is Tara, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's Dharma family service. We will begin this service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kuwahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
Reverend Kuwahara will now lead us in the chanting of the Jusei.
Gagon chosei ga hishimu jodo shigan fu manzok seifu josho ga gao muryoko大摂取不採処便具政府上昇が餓死上仏道妙所長実法空虚未小門政府上昇が利欲人少年上映主凡行しぐむ浄土一生天人師人力縁大公不傷無才道少女三苦妙交際集約難回避知恵言滅死肛門案閉塞小膜道通達全宗門高層上満足異様老実法日月修寿期天候音符言一種解放像公正功徳法上大集中説法四四苦供養一切仏具足修徳本元年信上満 得意三害を女仏無下知津達未不詳願学営利投資最小損志願や国家大戦を感動国書天人東内妙家ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ観にしくどく平等性祭道本菩提心往生安楽ナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダー。
Please join us in singing Agatha selected by our music team.
How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside. Its pure fragrance delights the heart. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside. Follow, follow, follow the awakened, and from among the blind, the light of your wisdom will shine out purely. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside. Its pure fragrance delights the heart. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside.
Please join me in reciting the three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Mita Boots, Namo Mita Boots, Namo Mita Boots, Namandabs, Namandabs, Namandabs.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tara, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a minister assistant with the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, and so thank you all for joining us today. Will you all please join me in Gasho? Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So we all have different experiences, backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, values, abilities, ways of living. We show our love in different ways, and all of these different things is what makes us beautiful. And we are all unique and also connected. So I'd like to share a story with you all. And so it's called I'll Walk With You. Words by Carol Lynn Pearson, art by Jane Sanders. I'll walk with you. If you don't walk as most people do, some people will walk away from you. But I won't. I'll walk beside and match your stride. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't talk as most people do, some people talk and laugh at you. But I won't. I'll talk with you and giggle too. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't look like some people do, some people look down on you. But I won't. I will see you're made perfectly. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you're not as young as some are young, some people think you're just no fun. But I won't. I'll listen to you and learn from you. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you're born far, far away, some people think you should not stay. But I won't. I know you bring such interesting things. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't pray as some people pray, some people pray you'll go away. But I won't. We're all, I see, one family. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you can't buy expensive stuff, some people think you're not good enough. But I won't. I'll look inside where treasures hide. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't love as some people do, some people think your love's not true. But I won't. I'll watch you share. I'll see you care. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't think as some people do, some people have no use for you. But I will. Our thoughts will play and stay all day. That's how I'll show my love for you. I will walk with you and talk with you. That's how I'll show my love for you. Everyone deserves to be loved and accepted no matter how they look, where they come from, or what their age and abilities are. And so this book kind of shows that, sometimes in our world and our society, people are not always treated fairly or treated well. because of their different identities. And it reminds us how important it is for all of us to show our kindness and compassion to everybody, no matter what. You know, it reminds us that we're all different and unique in our own ways, and that's part of what makes us who we are, makes us a community, and what makes this world so wonderful. We all are different and have different things to offer. And also, Buddha loves us as we are. And this love is shown through all of the people around us. So I have felt love through, you know, many people at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple who will reach out when I'm having a hard time. I've seen this love, you know, when people wave hello and smile at each other. You know, people at the temple making care packages for the Keru or the senior members. People who volunteer at the food distributions or food banks. People who put their time into teaching younger generations or teaching others, and people who are there for each other on the hard days. And so what I've learned is that we never really know what someone is going through, what someone's lived experiences are, what they experience every day, or maybe in the past, or what they've been going through this past year or month or week or day. And so it's good to check in with each other and be there for each other, for our friends, our loved ones, and those who are around us, especially when things are rough. And so this book is kind of just a reminder that it's important for us to show our love for everybody, no matter what. And that there are going to be sometimes people who won't treat each other fairly or nicely. And so we do our best. We do the best we can to show that love and compassion and support. And so if you all will please join me in Gasho. Namo Midabutsu. Namo Midabutsu. Namo Midabutsu. Namandas, namandas, namandas. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with all of you today. Again, I am Tara, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am a minister assistant with the Berkeley Buddhist Temple. So thank you for joining us today. Will you all please join me in Gasho? Namo Midabutsu. Namo Midabutsu. Namo Midabutsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. So this month, the month of September, is Suicide Awareness Month. And I know that this is a topic that we don't often want to talk about or don't talk about, or maybe don't feel comfortable talking about. And it is important actually to talk about it because that's the key to preventing it and being able to support people with their mental health and talking about it. And otherwise, you know, if we don't talk about it, we're not going to know how to prevent it. And so I wanted to share a story with all of you from when I was in school for my master's in social work. And so I had the opportunity to be an intern at a high school. And at that school, I was a social worker in a classroom. The classroom where all of the students had experienced trauma. And so because they had experienced trauma in their lives, it was making school really difficult. And so I was there to provide additional support. And so over the course of that year, I was able to get to know each of these students, each of their individual personalities, their interests, what classes they liked or didn't like, what teachers they liked or didn't like. And I got to connect with them about watching Criminal Minds or anime shows like Full Metal Alchemist, sports like the Warriors, and social justice issues. And it was really just great to see each of them grow throughout the year. And so in that class, we had all the grades, all 4 grades. 4 of them were seniors, and so I was fortunate enough to be able to see 2 of them graduate. But I was also very sad that I was not able to see all of them graduate, and especially the 2 seniors who were not able to graduate that year. And so one of the students who didn't graduate, they were so kind and so considerate, and they got along with all of the adults at the school. They got along with all their peers, and when they could focus, they get a lot done. And this student also experienced a lot of trauma growing up. And so for more information about trauma, when someone experiences trauma, especially as a child or when they're younger, what this does for the brain is the brain thinks, oh, I'm in danger and I want to keep you safe. And so it goes into survival mode if they're constantly in a space that isn't safe or doesn't feel safe or experiencing trauma. And so the brain's like, okay, they're going to fight or flight or freeze. And so fight meaning running away to stay safe. Fighting meaning fighting to stay safe. Or freezing, which means freezing and pretending like I'm not there to stay safe. And so what this often looks like for students is symptoms of anxiety or depression. And so the student also experienced those symptoms as well. And so in high school, what anxiety looks like is walking out of class. And so often, if you've experienced trauma as a child, it makes it a lot harder to handle the smaller stressors because our brain is already in survival mode. And so that would happen very often where something would happen at school and then it just became too much. The anxiety would come. And so the student would just walk out of class. And it happened a lot. And I would always walk with them and we would talk and sometimes, talk about things they liked, how they were feeling. Often it would felt cloudy. Sometimes we would talk about their interests like psychology or sociology, or maybe about sports like basketball and skateboarding that they really enjoyed. And sometimes they would be able to come back to class and try again. Other days that anxiety was too much and it was too much to be at school and they'd walk right to the bus stop. And so we were constantly they constantly experience kind of that push and pull of, okay, I can graduate and oh, why it's not even worth trying. And so during the first semester, we had that back and forth a lot. There will even be days where they wouldn't come to school because the anxiety and depression was too much. And then the second semester came around, and they came twice, and then we never saw them again. We tried to reach out, text and call, and we were never able to get in touch. And so each day of internship, I would kind of watch the door to see if they'd walk in, like last semester. Since I was an intern, I was only there twice a week, and the other days I was at school. And so when I'd come back after not being there, I would check their desk to see if anything had moved or changed to indicate that maybe they had come. And every time saw that nothing had moved on their desk. And so for the rest of that year, they did not come back to school and did not graduate. And that was really hard for me because I knew that they were this bright and caring individual that was just struggling a lot, and there was nothing I felt like I could do. And so at the end of the year, my supervisor told me we were there for them when they were at school. We showed that we cared. We were there through the hard times, and we were always there to support. And one day they would remember that and be able to come back because of that connection that we're able to make. So later, after I had finished the internship, I received a text message from my old supervisor, and it had a picture of the student with the diploma and cap and gown, and they had come back and they had graduated. And because they come back because they knew that they were supported, and they were ready. They were ready. And so I know that it was, not just my couple of interactions with this young person, but it was really the compassion and support from all the people in this young person's life, all the other connections they made with the other school staff and peers that supported them to come back and graduate. And so, in that setting, I got to know the student. I talked with them and I knew what they had experienced. But that's not always the case for us. When we see people at work or at school or in the grocery store or wherever, we don't always know what the people around us have experienced. We don't know their lived experience. We don't know what happened that day or that week or that year that's impacting them. And so it's really important for us to be there for one another. In Buddhism, we are also taught that life is suffering and that we will encounter many difficulties in our lives. And there will be times when we feel like nothing is going right. Maybe we feel trapped, maybe we feel overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, sad, whatever feelings that come up. And maybe sometimes we feel like giving up. And Buddhism also teaches us that we are all connected. In that suffering, we are all connected to each other, and we are all here for each other, and we are here because of everyone else. And it's that compassion that is shown to us. Amida Buddha's compassion that's shown through our friends and family and the people around us that can support us through those hard times. Because we all need compassion and support. And it's important to remember that we are all interconnected and rely on each other. And so if you're ever feeling down and frustrated, feeling like giving up, there are always going to be people here, whether it's people here at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, maybe your friend or family, or maybe there's a support hotline. There's always going to be someone here to support. And also on the flip side, it's important that all of us show compassion to each other because it's important in these times of hardship. And so I'd like to close with a quote from someone named Brian Stevenson. And Brian Stevenson is a lawyer who works with a lot of people to get them off of death row. And so this quote is from his book called Just Mercy. We are all broken by something. We have all hurt someone and have been hurt. We all share the condition of brokenness. Our shared vulnerability and imperfection nurtures and sustains our capacity for compassion. We have a choice. We can embrace our humanness, which means embracing our broken natures and the compassion that remains our best hope for healing. Or we can deny our brokenness, forswear compassion, and as a result, deny our own humanity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and let's all be there for each other.
Okay, so I'd like to thank Tara for being a chairperson for today's service. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. Then, thank you, Bradley and Myron, for your help during today's online service. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. And then, thank you, John, for monitoring a chat room on the YouTube channel. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And thank you, Emiko-san and the music team, for the beautiful music for today's service. ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for attending today's service. ありがとうございました。ようこそでした。So now announcements are on the screen. If you can, please join us. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. So please take care of yourself and then see you next week. ありがとうございました。ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダーブツ、ナマンダーブツ。